Hello and welcome to the booth. So excited to have you here today. I am Amy Reichert. I'm here with Heather Webb, and below me is the lovely Kelly Harms. She is the author of many books, best-selling books. The Overdue Life of Amy Byler, Bright Side of Going Dark, and her latest, The 7-Day Switch. And then Julie Clark is New York Times best-selling author of The Last Flight, and I just picked this book, The Ones We Choose. That's right, The Ones We Choose.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Thank you.
So, welcome, both of you. We are so excited to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, girls.
Yay! So we will kick it off with some short poppy news.
Poppy news. Okay. So poppy news. We have some rather lovely poppy news today. Okay. First is Priscilla Oliveras, who is one of our new poppies. Her book Anchored Hearts is $1.99 on all platforms, her ebook.
Go get it.
Also, Meet Me in Monaco, people. Grace Kelly's Royal Wedding, French perfumer, British press photographer, and a little love tango.
Yes.
That is on sale for $1.99 also this week in ebook. And then the really happy, lovely news is that we have not one, but two poppies who just got married or who are getting married this week.
Oh.
So Julie Cantrell just got married, I think maybe 2 weeks ago now,
I think so.
a week and a half.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Julie. And Amy Runyon is getting married tomorrow.
Oh my
Very
goodness.
exciting.
Wow.
So congratulations, ladies. Love is in the air, you guys. Apparently.
Probably not watching today.
Yeah. Probably not. Probably not.
We're gonna
So
have fun.
obviously from Poppy News we go to books. Oh, hold on. We've got a hello.
Hello.
Hi. We don't know who you are, but hi.
My Facebook user.
You have the best privacy settings. You're winning.
And we have someone who loved Anchored Hearts. Yes.
I did take advantage of the deal and bought both of those books. So, yay!
Okay, so
Maybe
books,
your
let's talk about-
Kindle. Your Kindle is like.
It's my sad little. It's not a Kindle. It's an iPad. It's very, very loaded and heavy with books.
Love
the
it.
best.
So speaking of books, what are we reading, you guys?
All right, Julie, why don't you go first?
This one.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, this book. Now, there was a lot of people talking about the ending, and I'm going to tell you that this ending was, in my opinion, pitch perfect. That's all I'm going to say. Pitch perfect. So, highly recommend. It's on the suspense spectrum. It's not going to be, it's not your like heart pounding in your chest kind of, thriller, but it's definitely going to, it's definitely, you're going to keep turning the pages because you just have to know, where did this guy go and what's he up to? And it's just really, really good. Yeah, highly recommend.
So Reese picked a good one.
Reese picked a good one this month. Yes.
Julia picked a good one. I think she's making that into a movie.
Yes, they
Ooh.
optioned it. Yeah. So and Laura Dave is actually writing the series with her husband.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I very much so want to try my hand at screenwriting.
I don't feel like it's in my wheelhouse at all.
I think I could be really good at it because screenwriting is so different from novel writing in that you really only have to get it like 75% of the way through.
I think you're thinking like, oh, I only have to write like 35,000 words. How easy. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think
And
so.
you can take out all that description.
I know, all that exposition.
All the
Honestly,
You just substitute it for like Spooky Street,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
My
No.
house.
I would definitely like to try writing a screenplay, I think, but I'm really skeptical about them going anywhere because I think everyone who's ever loved a movie thinks that they can write a screenplay, just like you're all shaking your head because we have all
Yes.
been approached by people who say, I've always wanted to write a book, blah, 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 like it's the easiest thing to do. And And I suspect with screenwriting, it's 10 times that.
Mhm.
And so how did you get your screenplay seen? Like, how does anybody notice? How do you get it into the right hands? I mean, if you're writing from a book that you've already written, I think it's probably easier, but I don't know if easy is ever really the right term, right? You know?
I think you have to option it first. I mean, that's the way that I've seen it done. So you option it, and then in the deal, you say, I want to write it. They'll ask you, do you want to write this? And most authors I know are like, hell no, I don't want to write this. But every now and then, you get somebody that's like, yeah, I want to write it. Like Janelle Brown, I think she's adapting hers. But these are all LA people, so they're sort of like, yeah, I can do that. But I know some other people. Amy Malloy, I think, was talking about doing that. So, you know, yeah.
Tell them what your comfort level. I would be fine writing one from the ground up, but I think taking a big book and shrinking it into one would be harder.
Oh, I completely disagree.
Really?
I think that first of all, our book recommendations has completely derailed, as I like to do.
Sorry.
This is what I love. I think it's so much, because then you're taking something that exists, that has all of the pieces there already, and it's just, how am I going to reimagine this? This makes sense in a completely different medium, and it hits all the same important notes. And I kind of dig that challenge, but I'm weird that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking 120,000 word book, so like 450 pages, and I'm trying to put it into 90, and I'm like,
You guys are forgetting that I've watched, I don't know, however many millions of movies, 10,000s of movies, read 10,000s of books, watched maybe 1 to 10 series all the way through in my entire life. And I think that's pretty common for writers. Like, as soon as the writing starts to stink, we leave the series. So we don't stick around. So,
yeah.
I mean, writing one season is going to be hard enough. But then what if she has to go back and write another season?
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. Things get really hard.
So, Amy, and of your books, then, which would you want to write?
I was actually was thinking that once I finish the book I'm working on right now, I would just try turning one of my books into a screenplay. And I would either start with my first book, The Coincidence of Coconut Cake, or I would go with the one that just came out, The Kindred Spirit Summer Club, just because that's fresher in my mind. And with no intention of actually it being used to make something, just to see what the process is like.
Well, I think that's how most people start writing books. You just are like, I want to write a book, and you don't tell anybody, and it's all secret, and you don't want anybody to be like, oh, everybody's trying to write a book, So you just write it, and then you've written it, and you learn a lot. Like, that's what you do,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly kind of what I'm thinking, because I don't know what I would do with it once it was done anyway. I think it would be kind of a fun reimagining, and it would probably be a helpful in my brain.
We need to say a quick hi to we have some regulars here. We have lovely Trisha and Pam. Hi. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. And we also have Chris Walder, who's been on the show, who's back. Hi, Chris. And everybody else. I think Kate is here, and Michelle Marcus. So we've got some fans, ladies. So lovely to have everybody here.
There's a good chance my mom's watching. So
hi, Mom.
I hope so.
And Kelly, what are you reading? What are you recommending?
I am going to tell you about a book that you can't even have until next January, which
rude.
I think is healthy. I think it's book anticipation is a healthy feeling, and we should all just lean into it. But I get it right now. So here it is. It's for book nerd. Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Okay. Must Love Books.
I love that title.
Donna Robinson. She's a debut novelist.
Ooh, I like that.
And I got this from like the unlikeliest of people who know people who know people. And she just sent it to me, and she was like, just in case, I know you like books about books. And I was like,
is that a Source Books book?
Yes, it is a Source Books book.
Yay!
So you can get one, Julie.
I'm going to ask for it then. Who's her
editor?
Who's her editor?
You can tell because the Source Books has this cute little imprint.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it. It used to be an exclamation point. This is much better, I think. Anyway, because it always made me feel really agitated if I had to read a book with an exclamation point on it.
There's
Hey, look at that!
I love you.
Are you?
That was not.
Yes, that's right. I sent you a message saying welcome.
Yes, that was not
Forgot.
self-promotion. Sorry, Kelly. Right in the middle of your
Your
spiel.
secrets are safe with me. I don't remember anything.
You know what? I don't know Shauna yet, and we are going to be friends, and it's going to be awkward when she doesn't know that we're friends. The character, the heroine in her book is the same. It has the same job as I had when I worked in New York publishing.
Which is?
Sushi getter. Coffee's not
Sushi getter. Excellent.
Call and get me a copy of the new Harry Potter book, even though it hasn't been written yet. That was like my life.
Oh,
totally. This is the devil wears stretch pants. Because in the book business, nobody can afford Prada.
Wait a minute. Can you tell us the author's name again? Somebody's asking.
Shauna
Robinson.
And I know it's
Shauna Robinson.
All right, I'm going to ask for that book. I'm going to ask my editor to send it on over.
You guys are going to hear about it constantly because I think the packaging is perfect.
When is it releasing? Oh, you said January. I don't listen.
The packaging is perfect. It's exactly what I need right now, which is like kind of for fans of Talia Hibbert or Sally Harding. Like I just need more of these. If I finished all of Amy's books, which I have, where's my next one going to come from? Junkie Problem.
It has like a very Emily Henry vibe to the cover.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
So, you guys, it's so good.
All right.
So, the thing I
Did you
didn't,
finish
I love Emily Henry. I loved that book. But the reason that I didn't like see myself in the heroine is because her writing experience was like, I sat down and I wrote my book, which is not what I have. And in this one, it's like, I slaved over a hot book for weeks. And I'm like, that's me.
Or months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Years.
years.
That said, I talk about Gus like he's Gus from Beach Read
Yeah.
by Emily Henry. So just in case everyone's not.
Did you read her newest one?
No, because
The People We Meet on Vacation. I loved it.
so I'm not supposed to read in genre while I'm
Writing.
yeah.
I understand.
That's my
Oh,
rule.
I do. Am I breaking some rule? I love to also read historical
Do you
fiction.
read it in the exact same time period? I think that's what it's about.
I totally
are you
read
reading
anything.
French
I don't
World War
care.
II while you're writing French World War II?
I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, I read in genre too. I have to.
Breaks all the rules.
Yeah, I feel like I know better what's on the market, and it helps me be in the time period.
There's
I
a
don't
couple
know.
things about this. Heather is always writing 100% of the time. So when would she read historical fiction otherwise? But
I'm not always writing 100%, but I have the last 2 years have been a little bit intense. I literally turned in a book either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on what happens tomorrow, and I'm like trying to keep my eyes open. Yes, but that will be the last of my crazy deadlines 2 years straight. So I'm
until the moment that you sign another contract and you're back in crazy.
I have another book under contract, but it's in no hurry. So I at least can take 6 weeks off, and I'm pretty excited about that. So,
all right, Tech Goddesses, do you want to let me in? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Do your thing. We'll get you back in.
You're switching laptop.
I'm going to try to switch devices.
Okay.
Well, you do that. I'll talk about what I'm reading. How's
Awesome.
that? Distraction. So I am reading audiobook. It's
is that? I read that. I blurbed that, I think. Loved it.
The first line, and this is all, I always give you like sort of a terrible view of the cover, but it's Hank Felipe Ryan, who is also a Poppy writer, and wasn't this nominated for an Edgar?
She just cleans up in that award. I mean, she gets it every year. It's like, I don't know why they even bother having it anymore. They just give it to her.
Just give it to
Drop
Hank.
it in the mail, have some pre-labeled packages every year, and on the day it just be like, did you drop that in the mail to Hank?
Do you guys remember when Nora had to stop accepting awards for her books? Hank is there.
Yes, because that and the Mary Higgins Clark Award, which is another one of the prestigious.
That's the Lifetime Achievement Award. Mm-hmm. But she's still alive and she's still writing.
And she's got
winning it.
So And I'm only 5 chapters in. So far I'm totally enjoying it.
Really good.
But yeah. Oh, you read the whole thing. Oh yeah, you blurbed it, you said. Yeah. So it's fun, and it's my first Hank book, so that's kind of exciting.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
So
It's fun.
yeah.
Awesome.
Amy, are you reading? Whoa.
I am reading, but I have to share it because we were talking about that we don't read in genre. And I don't, when I'm doing the first draft, I don't read in genre. This time, this is what I read.
Oh my god.
What is that?
It's
That's like a giant series.
it's Sarah J. Maas's not Game of Thrones, Throne of Glass series. If you like epic fantasy, it's just wonderful. Super fun to read, but
Crown of Thorn of Roses is the first one, and you've heard of it, so just get it.
her second series. This was her first series. Correct. So there's like 8 books in it. And the main character is an assassin. And it's a lot of, I actually kind of liked it better than the Court of Thorn and Roses, which I love. So
And that's the same author who wrote Court of. I read those.
Yeah.
I love those.
yeah, so you would probably really love this too, because I thought they were wonderful. But I am now mostly done with my first draft, so I feel like I can start doing some stuff. So I am about ready to dive into One Day in December,
Which I love.
I haven't read
You guys
that.
read it?
who hasn't read it, by Joseph.
I haven't read it. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It made me cry.
I haven't. It's just, in my stuff.
Yes. So it's on my list because the book I'm writing is a Christmassy book. And I feel like this will help me kind of get the
Get in the
vibe.
mode.
Get in
Yeah.
the spirit.
What?
Did you watch the Lily? Was it Lily James? The Christmas movie that came out in 2019, and it was like the last movie I saw in theaters, and it's terrible, but I loved it.
I don't.
And it has the same plot as One Day in December. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
Oh, it's
Sounds
all
vaguely familiar.
No, it's a different book. It's not based on a book.
okay, but it's the same title.
It's part of your research,
Okay.
is the point.
Well, it is. Apparently, Hallmark is also doing their Christmas in July. So I thought about putting that on the background and just letting it play 24/7.
So
it's going to
confused.
seep into you. The Santa hat puns and the number of nutcrackers you should have in your house at all times. No, don't even get out your Christmas ornament.
Kel,
He's a little
Is
Christmas.
that a crinkle or a croomcracka or whatever? What is the name of the little gnomes that come along with the St. Lucia's on St. Lucia Day?
I don't know, but I'm
Speaking Scandinavians, if you are watching this, can you let me know the name of the little gnomes?
so it depends what country you're in. They're known by different things. If they're in Denmark, they're called Nizu or Niza. I know that because the characters in my book have Danish descent. So I did research on how to pronounce it. Way too much research on how to pronounce it. So, but they do call them different things in different countries. I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it is. I don't have my tree out. I'm not.
Sharon, that is a good question. I'm glad you asked it. We were all forgetting it.
I'm actually relieved.
Turn the camera, please. I need to see what's not in the frame.
Yeah. This is the only Christmas decoration I currently have. Wait, that's not true. I do have a little Christmas tree I can plug into my computer and it will light up.
So
That's 2 more Christmas ornaments than any sane person has in their office in July.
Correct. It's June.
Amy, is it Nice? Is it Nice? Nice?
It is. That's how you spell it. And the way it's pronounced, they say it a little differently in different countries. Some say Niza, and at least according to Google.
Google knows everything.
I know. The Danish pronounce it Nizu.
Right.
But, or at least the little voice man says that.
The guy who lives inside of Google.
Correct. I have yet to, contact, say, Mads Mikkelsen to confirm that information, but I'm working on it.
So, okay, that is all. This book talk is an excellent segue to you lovely ladies. We have Kelly's off, so Julie, I read your book, The Last Flight, and I actually was crowing about it here on the Bloom Room. I don't know, a few months ago. I listened to it on audio, and I absolutely loved it. And tell us about it.
All right. So The Last Flight is the story of Claire Cook. She is married into a very powerful political family, kind of second only to the Kennedys, very beloved by everyone across the world, philanthropic, all of that. But what the world doesn't know is that her husband, Rory, is incredibly abusive behind the scenes, and he's escalating. He's getting worse. Mm-hmm. And so Claire has decided she's had enough, and she's leaving him. So she's put together this plot. She knows you don't really leave powerful men. You can't certainly come out and say, like, this is what he's been doing to me. He would never let her leave, and she could never really call him out on the horrible things that he's doing. So she makes a plan to disappear. She gathers money, she gathers an ID, a passport, everything under a new name. She's bought a new identity, basically. And she has this plan to disappear at an event in Detroit. She's going to just slip across the border and be gone. But of course, that plan falls apart. And she finds herself at the airport in New York, and she is hours away from her husband finding out what she was about to do. And so she's desperate, and she meets another woman at the airport who seems equally desperate. And so together they kind of hatch a plan to trade plane tickets. So Claire's going to travel to Oakland, and Eva, the other woman that she meets, is going to travel to Puerto Rico, and they'll be traveling under the other person's name. When they land, they think that'll give them a really big head start. No one will be looking for them where they are, and then they can kind of start over from there. But when Claire lands in Oakland, she sees that the Puerto Rico flight crashed, and she's stranded in Oakland with Eva's purse, her ID, her house keys, and news of Claire's death is about to explode in the media. And so she needs to go somewhere to hide out until it dies down. So the only place she feels she can go is Eva's house. And so she goes to hide out at Eva's house. But what she doesn't know is that Eva was not honest about what she was running from, and that there are people in Berkeley who have noticed that Eva has gone missing, and they're going to be wanting to find out why. So
and there's all these secrets, and it was, I think I listened to it in 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 10 hours of audio or something, and I just did a lot of cleaning. And that is not like me.
You're welcome.
So, thank you, Julie. I had a very clean house for about
Thank you. I'm glad. Anything I can do to help.
It was a very fun book. And what about something behind the scenes? Can you give us a little anecdote of something unexpected or fun?
Yeah, when we sold the book, my editor said, I want just one more big twist at the end. And I mean, if you're a writer and you hear that, you're like, good Lord, I don't know what else you want from me, right? I have literally left everything on the field and you want another one. But I found there was a couple things that were bothering me a little, like the little nagging thing that you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine, right? Nobody will notice.
Oh, I don't notice. Oh, they always notice.
They always notice.
They always notice.
And it does bother you, and you go publish it, and then after it's published, even you're like, I knew that thing wasn't right.
Yeah. So anyway, I kind of figured out a way to tie the beginning to the ending in a way that I felt was missing before. And so there's this big twist at the end that everybody who messages me says, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. And the truth of the matter is, when I wrote the book, I didn't see that coming either. I had no clue that that's what I was going to do. It was literally an 11th hour change and a connection that didn't exist before that really, she was right. As they say, if your editor is right, 9.9999 times out of 10.
Yeah, and that's why
I'm really glad you added it, because it
made the difference. I think it really made the difference between, an enjoyable book and a book people loved. Yeah.
I agree, because I find, especially as a writer, you start to predict.
Yep.
I mean, I can see the scaffolding of a story the minute I start it. I think all of us can, because we write them and we know what it looks like. And then as you keep going, I'm like, and then this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen. And I do that too with movies, and I know I piss off the people that I'm watching a movie with.
Somebody pops up or something pops up, and you're like, oh, we'll be seeing you later.
Yeah, right. Oh, she said that because of blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I didn't have that with your book, which was so great, which is probably why I raced through it.
So I highly recommend not working very hard until the very 11th hour. No kidding. Write a half-assed book and then, throw something really big at the end. No one will see it.
And you have another book. You just announced another book that's coming. Is that next year?
Yes, next year, next summer. It's called The Lies I Tell, and it's a story of a female con artist who targets corrupt men. And she has returned home to pull her final con on the man who destroyed her life, basically. And it's also about the investigative reporter who has been trailing her for a decade. So as the two women sort of grow closer together and their lives become a little more intertwined, it's a little unclear who's conning who.
Nice.
Love it. I'm so there.
If you need a rom-com author to blurb it, that's, I'm sure, what I would like to volunteer.
We always need at least one. At least one.
At least one. I feel like that's a good rule of thumb. Yeah. I'm okay if you don't put my blurb on the cover. You can put it on me.
Kelly, you just had your book just released?
Yes.
Or it's about to release? Yes. 7-Day Switch. Sorry, I've been in deadline mode. So.
Yeah. First of all,
I just want to pop up and I want to be in Amy's house. Like if I go up high enough,
I know.
That'd be great. Kelly just
the library that I'm just imagining is full. Look, Amy, true or false? There are science fiction figurines in that room with you right now.
Called out.
I don't even have to go that far. So we have Mel from Firefly.
Yeah.
We have Supergirl. We have Oliver Queen. And we have one of the hobbits that I can't remember which one it is.
I mean, they all blur together, those hobbits.
The little guy
You've
looks
seen one pair of hairy feet, you've seen them all.
No. Yeah, and this is just the beginning. I have
this is what you could grab in the 2 seconds that I called you.
There's several Groots over there. I have
Michelle.
This behind. Oh God, yeah.
So I'm
let's tell us
about my book. I'm just going to read what Michelle just said. She just said it was good, and she got it as a June 1st reads pick. And she said I should be nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. Thank you. Oh wait, she didn't say that. I don't know where I
saw it.
Here's the book. Look, you need to look at the jacket. I'm going to try to put it on the side where you can.
Oh, you want us to
you guys, that's the hardest thing I will do all day long. Okay. There we go. I'm actually moving
the cover back on.
No. Oh my goodness. There you go. Perfect. Freeze.
You saw it. That's
better.
Thank you. 7-Day Switch. So look, it's Freaky Friday, but with moms. I don't need to go into the rest of the plot because you know what the plot is. You are going to laugh your butt off. That is why you are buying it. It is. It's on sale everywhere books are sold on Thursday. But right now it is number 3 in the Kindle store.
Awesome.
So thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for making this happen for me. I'm just so grateful to all my advanced readers who
I feel like I saw on your website or someplace that it's $1.99.
It's $1.99 if you are part of the program. So I say that because I'm like, who would not be part of a reading program? It turns out there are people who get $4.99 pricing, and I'm telling you that extra $3, you will forget it as you're laughing your cares away.
You already have 5,620 reviews.
Yes.
That's incredible for a book that hasn't even.
And not all of them are
I mean, I know that it's been a first reads, but
yeah,
that's incredible.
That's a lot.
I would say none of them are my mom because I told my mom, she was like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "I'm going to be on this thing." You know how you're like
I'm more excited because it's us.
Julie, every night there's a thing, right?
You have a #1 bestseller.
Yes.
Julie's just going to tell you about the book, and then whatever you decide, you decide. Julie,
so wait a minute. So you got to tell us the title. Give us the deets, Kelly. What's 7-Day Switch?
The 7-Day Switch.
So Celeste, she is that mom who has like her kids open their lunch boxes and there's fruit sushi in there every single day. And then your kid comes home and they're like, Mom, why don't you make me fruit sushi? And you're like, I will find that woman.
Kill her.
And then Wendy is a kind of a workaholic. She's doing a great job as a mom, but she's not like, I mean, she doesn't always know where her kids are at any given moment. And she's kind of like drowning under that wave of mom guilt that I really know we've all experienced this last year when we're like, I just want 20 minutes to think. 20 minutes. Just give me 20 minutes. So not all of us, but there's those of us. Anyway, so the two of them drink too much sangria. They live back to back in their houses right next to each other. Their daughters are best friends. They drink very much sangria for reasons that totally make sense in the book and also makes sense if you've lived through COVID, because there was some sangria. I mean, I did the research. I made sure I knew what I was writing about. And they wake up and they're in each other's bodies, lying next to each other's husbands. It gets crazy.
Woo!
It's like Freaky Friday.
It's Freaky Friday.
I love that.
Love
I
it.
love that.
And I had a ton of fun writing it, and I think that's just like the best I can ask for. I got paid. I had fun. It was great. So
that is the best because it shows like readers can feel the fun happening on the page in your head. I think like they get that energy or something.
I guess for me, what's really the best is I've heard from a lot of stay-at-home moms. So with my books, when I get author letters, it's like about the person that's kind of been forgotten or feels like they don't feel seen. And every time they say, oh, that's what touches my heart. So when somebody writes me and says, oh, I feel a little seen, I really feel like, okay, high five, Kelly. You did your job today. Go put your feet up, watch some Mare of Easttown, maybe a bath. That's more sangria.
Sangria. And I haven't read this one yet because I am the one person.
She's writing a Christmas book right now.
I read a Christmas book right now. But Kelly, I feel like Kelly always writes books for me. They're just for me.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you get to read them is just bonus because they always hit all of my sweet spots.
Yes. Whoever feels that way, I do have a picture of you sitting next to my computer. Every one of you. I do have a Jon Snow next to my computer that makes me think of you, Amy. So that's something. And I got this, it was a text message from my mother-in-law, and she was like, I think Jon Snow is at my house. And I was like, what? And it turns out that they are filmed. So she lives in Northern Ireland in the castle where they're filming this new prequel series. So, yeah.
So she did in fact see Jon Snow.
So in fact, Jon Snow was at her house.
Wow.
That would be all right. Did she go outside of her house to see him? Because I would.
So she lives in the UK. We're not technically welcome there. At the moment, not us, like not me personally. Right. I don't have a special
band. There's no special ban on Kelly Harms.
We are praying and hoping that we can all be together for our wedding. So that is not a sure thing. But
when is that? When's your wedding?
It's whenever. I mean, we've postponed it so many times.
I got it.
Whenever we can get together, but we're thinking. So October is sounding really portentous. So we have an October wedding at the moment. To get the UK, I mean,
I like the at the moment.
We are both on our second partners, and there's no rush. We're gonna get married, and I will try to stop buying dresses because, like, you know how they go on sale on sample sale, and then it'll get down to like $150, and I'm like, oh, I'll get this one too, and then so the longer we postpone, the more wedding dresses we have in our house.
Nice. You're like, you can just change every hour.
Right.
We are having like a full all-day Disney wedding, so I am going to just like move through the princesses as I.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. If everyone can be there, if everybody has the vaccinations they need so that they can be there safely,
yes.
And that's I think it'll work out. But if it doesn't, we'll just kick it a little further down the road and we'll get married when we can marry.
Yeah.
My tax advisor is like, you better get married because I'm running the numbers.
That's so funny.
We're in a romance, right?
You guys are fun to talk to, so we're already at time, but I think we have some products and/or talents that have been prepared.
Yeah.
So we might have to just go another 5 minutes, extend the show a tiny bit. I think it needs to be done. Julie,
No, we talk long.
you're like a Cheshire cat over there. Let's see what you got.
All right. So as a writer and a person with historically poor posture, we're like this all the time. And like, I have really bad neck and shoulder issues, like have for years. And so over COVID, I bought a Theragun, which, right, sounds...
Those don't look like what they are.
I know, which is why I was like, if I show it to you.
You brought it. It's on screen.
I brought it.
Family show.
I use every night. It's loud.
You have to turn it on. Turn it on.
You're going to have to show us, I think.
Yeah.
And it like pulses.
My son is one of those, by the way.
And it is unbelievable. And I just do on the neck and shoulders every night before I go to bed. And it totally, like, every night I'm like, oh, do I really? I'll skip it, And then I do it, and I'm literally at least a centimeter lower.
Oh, that's I want that.
It was. They are. I use
curls around.
Yes, you can use it on your whole body, and like it. No, Amy, that would not go there. That's the one place you probably shouldn't use it.
It does look like it might be painful.
It would be very painful. It's called a Theragun. Theragun.
Okay,
Theragun.
we'll drop a link in the comments.
Yeah.
So can
They're
see
a little pricey, but
I want that half-inch.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm not having it right now.
I'm tilted this way because of the space bar. If you type 100,000 words a year, or 500,000 because we screw up so much, then the space bar thumb gets a little funny.
Yeah,
that's true.
The
lower back is where it gets me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this would be good for that too. I referred it to a friend of mine who has horrible lower back pain, and he uses it too and swears by it.
Nice.
He doesn't like anything, so that he liked it that's a big deal.
It is.
He doesn't like it.
He doesn't like anything. He's like, I don't like it.
He likes it.
He likes it a lot.
Kelly, what about you, lady?
Okay,
what have you got?
So bizarre, but my mom, every now and then, she gets this like burst of energy. She lives about 3 hours away, and she works on her basement, and she's a librarian, which is a nice way of saying organized hoarder. So I waited till you took a drink, Amy. I love my librarians, don't get me wrong, but they would all like knowingly not right now.
It's true.
So she sends me up this massive box. It's not labeled, not 100% sure what's in it. I open it up and I'm like, oh, here's what's in it.
It's a Theragun. No.
Drum roll. It's a blow-up doll.
I was super, super into My Little Ponies as a child. It is hundreds of perfectly pristine, like they're fresh out of the box.
No,
what?
Were they yours?
They were mine.
Getting rid
I'm a
of it?
woman of a certain age, so I played with the first generation of My Little Ponies. If you see it, if you know, right? Like,
yeah. I have a box like that of strawberry shortcake toys. And
you and I need to talk because so I gained this new. So this weekend, my fiance was like, okay, My Little Ponies have got to go. So I was like, oh, I think we should donate them. And he's like, hold on. And he looked online, and we have $5,000 worth of My Little Ponies.
No.
We're going to the Galapagos with our My Little Pony money. And I will show you why.
You need to get shirts made.
Yeah, we will. This right here, I still have the box. See, I am my mother's daughter.
Wow.
And I have the box, and this is worth $1,200.
I believe it. People are so crazy about stuff like that.
Flights for 4 to Ecuador, right there.
Yeah.
So wait, we have a question.
Get in your basement. I'm sorry, I'm starting, but go in your basement and look. if you have the strawberry shortcakes with box.
No boxes.
Oh, I have the boxes.
No boxes.
I don't have the strawberry shortcakes. I have the boxes. So it's the boxes that the collectors want to buy.
Wow.
So I've been mailing out empty boxes for the last week, and we are really going. We're taking the family to the Galapagos.
That
That's
is amazing.
insane.
Good for you.
Yours
I
is
mean,
better than mine.
We would probably go anyway, but this way it's like the ponies there.
This is pony magic. This is Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash at their most helpful.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm from a generation before that, so
Okay,
they don't have good names.
I mean, I was too, but then my daughter got into them, and so we did ponies until she was like 8, and so I know all the names.
No.
I didn't do any ponies.
Cheryl
I'm too old.
You know what? That's the difference between a suspense writer and a romance writer, right? Like,
Maybe.
I'm like My Little Ponies, and you're like My Little Murder, My Little.
No, I think it was just like a shade after I outgrew it.
Yeah.
But I
Not
stopped.
enough that I like had an original Rainbow Bright doll.
Not either.
Oh.
I don't anymore.
Apple
But
Blossom. I have Apple Blossom, and she's for sale on my Etsy store. So just go buy her.
Oh Anyone who wants to send Kelly's kids to the Galapagos,
yes.
please hook her up with My Little Pony boxes because she needs a little extra cash to get her there.
You know what? I'm going to say one last thing, and then I promise I will not say another word for the whole night.
Oh, you're good.
My buyers are almost 100% men.
Yeah, they're
Really?
Bronies.
bronies.
Now go look that up and take your massager with you and have a great night.
On that note, it was great having you guys. Thanks for the great book Rex, the
I'm
laughs,
so sorry.
all the goodness.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming. We will be back next week, and I don't even know off the top of my head who's going to be
We
here.
have Sonali. It's Sonali's it's a launch. So it's a launch party, poppy launch party.
Which means I need to read her book fast.
Yes, lickety split.
They're
Anyway,
the worst
thank you guys
thing.
for coming. We're going to put links to your books in the comments,
Thank
and looking forward to them.
Thank you all. We will see
Bye,
you next week.
Bye, you guys.